Delton Daniels, South Carolina, August 1st. Sean Bolton, Tennessee, August 1st. Thomas LaValle, Louisiana, August 5th. Brett Hanger, Washington, August 6th. David Gibbs, Kentucky, August 7th. Craig Winsand, Illinois, August 10th. Joseph Abdullah, Michigan, August 14th. Carl Howell, Nevada, August 15th. Tronsky Jones, Texas, August 20th. Peggy Velasco, Missouri, August 24th. Stephen Vincent, Louisiana, August 24th. Henry Nelson, Louisiana, August 26th. Chad Wolf, Michigan, August 28th. James Brava, August 28th. Darren Goforth, August 28th. Charles Glenowitz, September 1st. A lot of these names have not been said on the air enough times. These 16 people are cops that have been shot because they're cops, and it's not right. And there's a movement that's going around because of it. It started, and now because of the movement, cops are dying. It's not right. And I really hate starting a show off like this. But I have friends that are in the law enforcement. And I don't like the fact that if they wear their uniform on the way to work or from work, they got a big target on the back. They can't even go to the gas station and put gas in their car without somebody gunning down after them. They're being lured into backyards for an ambush because of their job. It's not right. It's not right.
Nope. And I'm one of those people that has to send my husband to work. Sometimes in his uniform, it's unavoidable. In fact, the day after Officer Goforth was ambushed at a gas station, my husband had to leave for work in his uniform, and he had to put gas in his car. Yeah, that was awesome. I definitely was saying lots of prayers the second he left the house until he came home. I don't sleep well. I kind of freak out a little bit about it because it's the only job where you are hated, not because of who you are or anything that you've said or even anything that you've done. You're hated because of clothing that you wear. And these people that are doing this, that are encouraging this, thank God some of them are now being arrested for making the terroristic threats against not just police officers, but, well, white people in general, because obviously white people are the problem. So today, there was a request for anybody who supports law enforcement, who backs the badge, backs the blue, to wear blue, to honor our law enforcement brothers and sisters that are out there, whose only goal really is to protect and serve. Honestly, yeah, there's a few bad officers out there, but there's also a few bad dentists and a few bad doctors and a few bad teachers and a few bad lawyers and a few bad moms and a few bad dads. But for some reason, in that whole list of occupations and people that I listed there, the only one where everybody assumes everyone in the profession is evil because of a couple is law enforcement. And that makes no sense to me. So I'm wearing blue. I put blue on my screen. Sparkles is wearing blue. She's got blue on her screen too. We definitely support our law enforcement officers, and we are not going to keep this in a real somber tone for the entire time. You guys know us by now. You know that we usually are goofy and crazy and do stupid stuff and say stupid things. And we're going to try to get to that because there's a whole lot of sarcasm to be had in this whole situation, and we will both find it. I promise. But to honor those men and women that gave everything for no other reason than they put their uniform on that day. It's just, it's mind-boggling to me. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I work from home, but I can't imagine anybody wanting to kill me just because of the job that I do. I mean, that's ludicrous. Think about it for yourselves. Does somebody want to kill you just for the job that you do? That's no. The only profession I can think of where people actually want to kill you simply because of the profession that you do is law enforcement. And when you're in trouble, first number that comes to your mind is 911. I don't care who you are. That's the first number that comes to your mind because that means help. So if you have a chance to wear blue today, I know well, actually, you won't see this until tomorrow, but I hope that you wore blue yesterday. And I hope that you can look at the hashtags on Twitter and on Facebook of Back the Badge and Back the Blue and take a look at what people are posting and the love and support that's being just draped over our officers that are out there on the street. So we're going to try to lighten things up a little bit now.
A little bit. I mean, I do want to tell one story that I got off Facebook. I was going through there today, and there was a picture of a female officer. She was in her uniform. She was on duty. So she had her sidearm. A teenage boy. He looked like maybe a sophomore in high school. Came up and said, hey, I'm going to, basically, I got your six. I got your back. I want to, make sure nobody sneaks up on you. She was armed. She, so she wasn't thinking about it. But this kid, unarmed, watched this cop's back because he knew what's going on. The cop went up to, after she got done filling up, she saw the young man go into the passenger side of the car. The cop went up and said to the mom, your son is awesome. Thank you for being such an awesome mom because your son is great. That's what we need to see more of in this country. Mm-hmm. I know right now I'm crying and you will never see this. I'm telling you right now, I rarely cry. This may be maybe only the second time even Miss Muffy has seen me cry. And we've been friends for years. I don't cry. This is how much it's getting to me. But this is what America's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Right now we are being torn apart by such stupid things. I was thinking earlier today while I was at work last night, about the semantics between the Lives Matters campaign. When people hear Black Lives Matter, automatically the word only goes at the end. Because there's some people in the movement, only the Black Lives Matter and all white people need to go. But there's people in the movement who also who are of that belief. They're just in there going, we need to start, doing better ourselves. So there's a disconnect in that movement.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the Blue Lives Matter, so when some people hear that, they're sitting there going, well, you are automatically on the side of the cops. You don't care about the blacks or the Latinos or the other minorities that are facing police brutality unwarranted. That's not it either. We care for the law enforcement community. And then there's the All Lives Matter. And when people hear that, they're like, you're downplaying what we're about. We're, trying to uplift one part of the community. And the All Lives Matter is like, we're trying to make known that we care about every human life.
Mm-hmm.
All lives matter. My whole thing is, are you making your life matter? Because I've seen a lot of these people that are sitting there, saying that, only certain color skin people's lives matter, or, that kind of stuff. But what are they doing? Are you adding anything to society besides children? Don't get me wrong. Parenting is fun. Parenting is great. But if you are doing nothing but sitting on your couch and pushing out babies once a year so you can stay on welfare, how is that making your life really, truly matter? Because I can guarantee you're really not helping your kids out much, because I've seen some of you mamas, not saying that every welfare mama is bad, but I've seen some of you mamas, and you don't spend any time with your kids. TV, internet, and video games are raising your kids, and you're going to have to go through this again when they're teenagers.
Yeah.
But my baby's an angel. He would never. Yeah, he done just did something because you didn't, guide him correctly.
Okay, on that note, I was reading about something today that I went, ugh, seriously. So in New York City, there was an attempted rape. A young black man got into an apartment building, got into an elevator with a woman. He started masturbating. He tried to grab her hand and make her do it, and it got ugly, and she got out of there, thankfully, and nothing truly physical happened to her. And they were looking for the guy that perpetrated this. So they had security footage of the individual. Next night, there's a mom and a son that are watching the news together, and man, that security footage comes up, and lo and behold, it is her son sitting next to her. So she goes and grabs the dad, tells him what's going on. They roll him up. They take him to the police station, and they turn his ass in.
Good.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Being interviewed by the media, the mom says, he's a good boy. He's in college. He has a night job. Lady, I don't know how to tell you this, but no, he is not a good boy. He's not a good kid. Somewhere along the line, there was a disconnect. Now, I'm not saying it's your fault. It may not be. You may have been the best mom ever, and he just has a disconnect somewhere. But let's not be blinded to what your child did. And I get that one act does not make your personality. But it was a pretty ballsy move what he did, which leads me to believe that was not the first time he's done something like that. So, no,
yes, not either.
Your precious little snowflake of a son is not a good kid. You yourself had to take him to the... He didn't turn himself in. You had to take him and turn him in.
I would like to interject something right here.
Okay.
Not that, because I'm a girl and it's a lot harder just to whip out my stuff and masturbate on a elevator and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But if I was to do something and the security footage showed up on the nightly news and my parents were sitting there, I would turn myself in because I'm safer with the cops than I am with my parents. Because here's the thing, I know my parents. My mama is 5'4". So compared to me, she's kind of on the short side because I'm 5'10". She also a redhead. Short women already kind of scare me because they're sassy. They're spunky and they fight weird. They fight different. But she's a redhead on top of it, which means she has a temper. I will run. I won't even wait for a car to warm up and try to find the keys to warm my car up and go down it. I will run down to the cop shop.
Yep.
And I'm like, put me in jail. Put me in jail. I'm safe.
Oh, yeah, my kids know the same thing. I'm like, if you do something stupid, you need to worry about me, not the police finding you. Because if the police find you, they'll treat you good. Worst thing they're going to do is put you in handcuffs and throw you in a squad car. This chick right here, I will beat you. You will
pretty much
ask for the police and be happy to turn yourself in. Because I don't play. No child of mine is going to do that. Now, I don't care if you fail a test. I don't care if you forget to turn your homework in. I don't care if you don't come in first in your race. That doesn't matter to me. I don't, that's on you. That's not a reflection on me. But if you are diddling yourself in public and trying to make somebody else do it for you, yeah, that does reflect on me, and you better run. Because I will find you.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure whatever I do to you, you will not even think about masturbating for at least 6 months.
No, you're not going to find it enjoyable. No.
I guarantee you.
So that's where I'm at with that, and I posed the question because Charles, Charles, he's the one that posted the article, and so I posed the question underneath it. I'm like, why always do these mothers say, "Oh, he was a good kid"? Why?
True.
Every single time. Oh, that's my baby. That's my angel. That's a good kid.
No. It's a denial act that my mom is even brought up because she was a school bus driver. She started in the 60s and then retired in the 90s because she saw the whole script kind of flip upside down. When she first started, if the kid acted up on the bus, she could go to the parents and they're going, "Hey, little Johnny was doing so and so on the bus," and the parent would take care of it, and Johnny would be next day would be the model bus rider.
Yep.
Nowadays, if you go to the parents and they're going, "Little Johnny was acting up on the bus driver would get in trouble because that mama going to call her boss, go to the school board. This bus driver was being mean to my child.
Because the special little snowflake couldn't possibly ever do anything wrong.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what, my kids, all right, so my daughter had a little whiny attack about how kids are being mean to her at school. Now, I'm pretty protective about bullying at school. I just don't know. But I know my daughter. And she is, what's that word? Rough.
Sassy.
She'll beat you. She has no compunction about giving you what's good for you, in her opinion. So, but she plays both sides of the coin. Like she plays the cute little victim, and then she'll punch you in the face. So, so she's like, "Oh, they were being mean to me. They were making fun of me." I said, "Well, what were they saying?" "Well, they were being mean to me." What were they saying? So then I get it out of her what they were saying. Well, what they were talking about was hygiene, I guess, for lack of a better term, which is something that I struggle with my daughter, is trying to get her to take a shower every day. Like, this is a concept that is foreign to her. Like, cleanliness is not next to godliness in her book. And so I kind of had to, like, tiptoe the issue, because I had to be the compassionate mom of, oh, those kids are being mean to you, blah, blah, blah. But the flip side of me was like, well, I told you to take a shower. Take a shower. Scrub your hair, scrub your neck. And so I was trying to be really sweet about it, but eventually I was just like, I'm really sorry that they picked on you, and they shouldn't have done that, because kids are just mean. And they are. Kids are just mean. If you haven't been around them for very long, let me just tell you, kids are ridiculously mean. They're horrible, vile creatures that just should never see the light of day. But they're vicious. They're vicious because they have no.
I can't use. You shouldn't even see the light of day. Throw them down in the dungeon. Let them suffer down there until they're old enough to know better.
Be Cersei in Game of Thrones and just like put everybody in jail. But anyway, so I had to play that card with her. I was like, look, they shouldn't have made fun of you. That's not right. Like, but that's what kids do. They're mean. If they see something, they're gonna say something. They really bought the government line. So what you need to do is not give them any ammo. And if they're making fun of you because your hair may not be as clean as everybody else's, maybe make sure that your hair is as clean as everybody else's. Like, solve the problem. And that's really hard, because I'm basically blaming the victim of the situation, which is really bad. But I kind of am, because I've given her this advice over and over and over again, and I knew it would take a kid making fun of her and whatnot before she would make any changes. And she still really hasn't. Like, she doesn't fight me quite as much on taking the shower now, but the idea of actually using soap or shampoo is a little bit foreign to her. I don't know why.
Baby steps, yeah.
At least I can get her in the water. I guess that's step one. So I have actually thrown her in the shower fully clothed with cold water because she refused that much to take the shower.
I haven't gone that far, but when my nephews were at that age, and everybody that's had a teenage boy knows what I'm talking about. At that age, I was throwing deodorant at them, going, "Put this on." I was throwing body spray at them. I'm like, "Put the deodorant underneath your arm, spray body spray over." I'm like, "Holy crap, you just stink." They're like, "Well, we took a shower." I'm like, "You didn't use enough soap. Go, you smell like boy."
Pizza. They smell like pizza. Why do they smell like pizza?
I think it's like the hormones plus grease.
It's
but it's not even like the good kind of pizza.
No, it's like that gas station in the middle of nowhere, been sitting on the heater lamps for like 10 hours and it's all shriveled, but you're so freaking hungry you'll eat it.
Yeah.
That pizza. And it's only cheese, because God forbid we put a topping on it.
Well, there probably was topping on it at the beginning, but it shriveled up and died.
It burst into flames.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Speaking of food, can we talk about the Arby's thing?
Yes.
Okay. So for our viewers here that may not know what's going on, okay. I have a couple things to say about this, but I'm just going to go over what happened. So police officer, female police officer, sergeant actually, who was on patrol, and she was super duper hungry, which happens because they work 12-hour shifts, people, and you don't get actual breaks. Just thought I'd let you know. So she is like, oh, thank God, there's an Arby's. Whoa! Pulls her squad car in, gives her order. Now, here's the thing about drive-thrus is they can see you. there's cameras and stuff, and so they can see you. They know what you're doing. So if you're picking your nose during a drive-through incident, stop doing that. They have video of it, and I'm sure they keep it. So she comes through the drive-through, makes her order. They take it, like, no problem. Like, thank you. And she drives up to the window and gets told that she's being refused service because she's a police officer. Because she's a police officer. Well, the brainiac behind this is a 19-year-old who happens to not be white. And he was quoted as saying, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but he basically was like, well, it is what it is. She's a police officer and I'm colored. He actually did say, I'm colored. Wow. So there's this big uproar on Facebook. Oh, Arby's did this. Arby's did this. Let's blame Arby's. Arby's, Arby's, Arby's. Okay, people, slow your roll. Because Arby's called that sergeant and like the CEO of the company called her and apologized to her over the phone. Yeah. They investigated the situation. They have since fired the manager and put the cashier on a suspension, and likely the cashier is going to be fired as well for the incident. So it's been taken care of. But there's like this movement out there now to boycott Arby's because they refused service to a police officer. Okay. Listen. There was a story about 4 years ago where police officers were refused service at a Denny's. I can't remember where, but they weren't allowed service at Denny's because they were open carrying. I kid you not, they were not allowed to come into the restaurant because they were open carrying. They're police officers. I think it's okay. So then there was this big, oh, Denny's should, boycott Denny's. Well, I'll admit, I'm not a huge Denny's fan as it was, and that was like easy for me to be like, okay, I won't eat there. And I really haven't, but that's neither here nor there. That's more my personal decision because I like IHOP more. So, and IHOP is easier for me to get to from my house, so suck it. Anyway, but this whole notion of let's boycott all of Arby's because one employee at one location lost their ever-loving mind and got super stupid. Like, have you ever seen Tropic Thunder? There's a line in there that says, you went full retard. Never go full retard. They went full retard. And I mean no disrespect on that. I'm just quoting that movie. I'm telling you that. You understand, because they're talking about that he played anyway.
Simple J.
See the movie. It's really good. So I'm like, people, can we stop asking for boycotts? If they come naturally, organically, because of the way a company consistently treats their customers, then okay, I can see that. That business is going to go out of business. Arby's has been around for a very long time, and I've always had consistently good customer service whenever I've gone to Arby's. Now, they're a little expensive, so I don't go there very often. I'm not about to boycott them because one stupid person at one location not anywhere near me did something epically stupid and has since paid the price for it. They got fired.
Oh no, I'm with you on that. That kid was stupid. Here's the thing. When you are an employee at a business, don't refuse on such stupid grounds. I can understand if you refuse because they're not wearing a shirt in there, they're not wearing shoes, that kind of stuff, or they have a mask over their face. But you can refuse service at that moment. But as a general rule, if you are not the owner of said business, don't refuse on any other grounds.
No.
It is not your business. You are not the franchise owner. You do not pay the bills on that building. You don't sign the paychecks. You have no say.
No. And
also, I just want to add this in.
Yeah, go.
Because when I was that kid's age, I worked at a truck stop. That happens, and all truck stops are right off the highway. Now, a lot of people may disagree with this practice, but you know what? Don't care. Because I had to work third shift. We gave the cops free coffee at 1 a.m. because they would come in for their, I would have 3 cop cars come every night, 1 a.m., and they would get coffee and they would drink it inside.
Yep.
Guess what? For the 15 minutes they were there, I felt the safest.
Yep.
Number one, I am 19. I'm working at a truck stop by myself. They have changed the rules since then. Now they have 2 people. By myself.
Mm-hmm.
Off the highway. My only protection, go with me. Like I said, I worked at a truck stop. If you ever go into a truck stop or you know some things about trucks, they have this thing called a tire buddy, which is like a oak dowel about yay thick, about this long, and at the end we have like the tip has like a metal that wraps around it. It's about this thick, and what they do is they use it to check the tire pressure, because you can't just go and use the tire gauge because it's too much pressure for the little tire gauge. So that's how they check their tires. I would wear that around my wrist. That was my only defense as a third shift cashier. So yeah, if giving them free coffee, even if I had to start paying for it, that's like under $3 a night.
Yeah.
I will gladly pay that. I want the cops to like my business. I want the cops to look out for my business. It's not like mafia, you have to do protection money. No, it's being nice to them, because if you're nice to people, they're more likely to have your back than if you're an ass.
Well, and even further than that, okay? Giving them that and letting them have a place where they can go, because believe me, during their coffee break there, they're going, they're taking that couple of minutes to decompress. So you're helping them by giving them some caffeine in the middle of their shift that they desperately need, and you're giving them a respite, like just a few minutes, and you're getting a respite. So it's a mutually beneficial situation. But even more than that, after they leave, should a call come in at your address, they will be there so fast, because you are their friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it works. And it's not, I mean, you can claim bias on that and you can claim favoritism or whatnot, but I'm going to tell you what, if there is a squad car sitting in the parking lot of a business, that is the best deterrent of any crime going down, any situation, anything. Like, some criminal is gonna be like, nope. That's like, squad car in your parking lot is nope to criminals. Now, if they're hella easiest and they don't notice, then, you know, God bless them. So
I've actually seen a couple of those kind of videos where like they did not even notice the cop car, and they go and they rob a convenience store, and the cop just comes up behind them. It's like, you're under arrest. The guy's like, oh crap! It's like, dude, the cop car was sitting out there.
Aware of your surroundings. Know your surroundings.
Yeah, I mean, it was like in the early 90s, before we switched over to the county sheriffs, we had our own police force. The police chief, I liked him. Okay, in a way I kind of hated him, but since I didn't drive yet, I liked it. What he did is he had the cop cars painted in a darker blue, but the decals were done in almost the same shade of blue.
Oh.
So it wasn't like, you know, you would see like a white car and you would see like, you know, like I said, I have county now. So you have like the state of Michigan and then like the county seal on top of it and all like that. So you don't see that. No, you have to freaking look at this car going, oh crap, it's a cop car. Because they had the lights on top. They were like the hidden ones.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, and just obscenities would just come out of your mouth. I kind of liked it. Now that I'm a driver, screw you.
Right. Stop playing games with my mind.
Stalkers coming out out of nowhere giving me a ticket.
Oh, but can I give our viewers a tip?
Okay.
Pro tip for everyone. If you are pulled over, and at some point in time you will get pulled over, step one, pull over as quickly as you can in as safe of an area that you feel comfortable pulling over in. Okay? Well lit, whatever. Turn your car off. Take the keys out of the ignition and put them on your dashboard. And then put your hands on the steering wheel at the 10 and 2 position like they're supposed to be. Don't take your seatbelt off. No, don't do that. Hands here. Here's why. Traffic stops are the most dangerous part of any police officer's job. Like really, they have no idea what they're walking up on. If the windows are tinted, they cannot see what's going on inside the car, especially at night. So they don't know how many people are in the car. They don't know if there's weapons there. They don't know anything. They're checking to see if the trunk is closed. They're checking to see if the windows are closed. And they're checking for compliance, basically, is what they're looking for. If you take your keys out and put them on the dashboard and put your hands there, the likelihood that you're going to do something stupid is slim. Roll down your window. Be polite. Apologize. Speak clearly and carefully. Use short sentences. And if you need to reach to grab something, let the officer know ahead of time. Officer, my driver's license is in my purse, in my wallet. Is it okay if I reach for that? If they say no, keep your hands on the steering wheel. Above everything, do not exit your vehicle until and unless the officer says to. Okay? That's like, if you don't do anything else, just do that. Stay in your freaking car. Okay? You're less likely to get shot. Just saying.
Here's my pro tip. Watch World's Dumbest.
Oh, yeah.
And do everything the opposite of these people. Because what Miss Muffy is saying is correct. Because I have seen so many of these people. They get arrested because they got out of their car and started arguing with the officer. And then because they're running on emotions, now are facing time in jail. They escalated their charge. They could have just gotten like a simple ticket. Yeah, it would have been points on your driver's license. But that's a lot easier to talk away, saying, yeah, I have a lead foot, than saying, well, yeah, I had to spend a couple nights or whatever in jail because I couldn't watch my mouth. Because I'm letting you know now, nowadays, it's really easy to do searches on your name, especially if you're looking for a job, and those things pop up, and you think that somebody's going to really want you for a job. You're more likely to get a job if you just have like a bad driving record, like with me, I have a lead foot, than, oh, I spent time because I cursed out a cop and I kicked them.
Yeah. Which
I have seen. Some of these people, oh my goodness.
It's ridiculous. Now, if an officer says, I'm going to search your vehicle, no. You can refuse at that point. You do not have to let them search your vehicle. Now, here's the caveat to that, just so you know. If you're a dumbass and your pot is sitting out where it can be seen in plain view, that's the key, in plain view. They don't need your permission to search the car. Now they have grounds to search it. Get out of your vehicle. They're coming in. They're searching your car. If everything is hidden, provided you have anything in your car, and they say, do I have permission to search your vehicle? You have the right to say no.
Yep. It's in the Constitution, people. Amendment 4.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, especially if you don't have anything to hide, honestly. Because they'll find a way to search your vehicle. Because when you refuse, then suspicion goes up that maybe you're refusing because you're hiding something, and so then they're going to look for a reason. But traffic stops result in so many interesting arrests.
Oh my goodness!
Timothy McVeigh was arrested because he had a taillight out. He was pulled over for a busted taillight and was recognized and subsequently taken into custody. The bad word that shot the newscaster and her.
Oh, yeah.
He was pulled over. They were hot on his trail, and he, I guess, shot himself while he was driving, which is like hella stupid, but whatever. He clearly was not the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree, okay? Oh, here's one other lovely little thing that I would like to say about that particular situation. There is now a new battle cry for gun control over that situation. Now, if you don't know what happened in Virginia, live on air, that was the scariest part. Live on air, this guy walks up and kills the interviewer, the news anchor, and her videographer. I can't even watch it. It's horrifying. No, not only did he do that, but he did a point of view video too. Like, he filmed himself doing it. Anyway, he was a disgruntled employee who was obviously Looney Tunes, and anyway, but he had applied for a gun in Virginia and passed the background check. That's the key thing there. He passed the background check and was issued a handgun. He used that handgun to gun down, well, 3 people, 1 survived. Well, I guess 4 if you count him, but whatever. I don't count him because may he rot in hell. But there's this new rally cry for these extra gun control measures. Well, your narrative sucks because the guy that you're going after legally purchased his weapon. Mm-hmm. The background checks that you're so fond of that you want to make more strenuous, which I don't know how much more strenuous than going through the FBI they can get, but okay, worked. He had no criminal record. And because he had never sought any help for mental health issues, which he obviously had, that didn't get flagged either. So tell me, again, what laws would have worked in that situation?
Yeah, here's the thing. People never see the idiocracy of their arguments. They're going to go, well, we need gun control because guns are evil. No, guns are fine. But what you're going to do, if you make all these guns legal, you're going to have what's happening over in Britain. People aren't going to use the guns anymore. They're going to use knives. And then you got to ban knives. They can't have plastic knives in Britain, people.
Wait.
The stuff that can't even cut food is illegal.
Okay. Yeah, they want knife control there now. And you know what spiked? This is hilarious. This is my favorite thing. Robberies via crossbows.
I'd rather get shot by a gun. I'm not
really though, right?
Because depending on what kind of bullet they use and gun they use, there's a good chance the gun can either go all the way through me or get lodged before it really hits anything. And it's a lot easier to take that out. And you can put pressure on that hole and make it to the hospital. Meanwhile, you have an arrow sticking out of you, and it's hard to maneuver.
Yeah, you gotta like clip that thing and whatnot.
And you got to be careful, because if it goes into your belly, then you got to worry about your internal organs, so you can't have it move too much. I'd rather get shot by, I don't want to be shot by at all.
Well, no.
But if I had a choice between a stabbing, crossbow, or a gun, I'd rather get shot by the gun. Just saying.
Okay, so here's some fun statistics for you. 75% of people that suffer gunshot wounds survive. Let's just, I mean, really all we need to look at is Tupac. Okay, can we just look at him as an example? How many times did that dude get shot before he finally succumbed to a gunshot wound? Like, seriously? Right, okay. So, let's look at that. If you're in a knife fight, expect to get cut. Okay, just fun little statistic there for you. You're probably going to get cut, so just be ready for that. And if something stabs you, leave it. Don't take it out. Because it is actually blocking the blood flow. It's actually being the plug, so to speak, for for blood loss. So if a knife goes in you, and then the person lets go because they did something stupid, yeah, it's gonna hurt. But leave it. Just leave it and go to the hospital. I saw one of the best examples of that on Untold Stories of the ER, one of my favorite shows, hands down. This guy came in and he got stabbed. I think it was like 2 inches in. And there was enough of the blade out that they took and they packaged it to so it wouldn't move as much. Right. Okay, to stabilize it. So they packed him. He comes in, and the doctors could see the handle of the knife move. It did not puncture the pericardium, which is the sac that goes around your heart. It was millimeters away from puncturing the pericardium, which if that happens, you're in trouble. Yeah. But because of the packaging, they were able to get the x-rays correct and make sure that nothing else was really badly injured, and were able to take it out, and he was fine. But they left it in there, and because of that reason, he's fine. Because they want to make sure that pericardium was completely intact. There wasn't even a scratch on it, because you do want an infection in it. Ooh, bad, nasty things. That's why you keep it in there. Yeah, don't let the medical professionals take care of that for you, okay? You're not a medical professional, I'm almost certain. So don't try. You're not House, okay? Don't try to fix it. Okay? Let's just do that. So those are just fun little things. Yeah, gunshot wounds suck, but they also kind of self-cauterize, because I don't know if you know this, bullets are hot. I have some experience with this, not in being shot, but I go shooting quite frequently. And the brass that comes out, because I don't know if you know this, but the bullet is lodged inside a sheath, and the sheath is what gets hit, and then the bullet takes off, and the sheath gets ejected out of the gun. Okay? There's so much energy that happens so quickly, it heats up like that, like burning stupid hot. I had the distinct pleasure of having a piece of brass go right down my shirt. Yep. And wait, it gets better. Get lodged in my bra. Now, see, if brass goes down your shirt, you can do the little brass dance and, it comes out. When it gets stuck in your bra, it starts to burn your skin. Don't know if you know that. I had a really lovely half-moon burn mark on my boob for a good week because of one brass casing that came out of the gun and went wonky. What happened was I was shooting at a range, and it went out, hit the wall, and ricocheted back into my shirt.
Nice. So here's a pro tip for ladies going shooting at the range. Do not wear a low-cut shirt. And as an added bonus, wear a hat with a brim on it.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when the brass goes up, it won't land on your head, or it has the shield so it won't hit your facial area. It's a nice shield.
It's hot, man. I'm going to tell you what, that brass is no joke.
Yeah, I'd rather be a little bit on the sweatier side if you're at an outdoor range shooting than have the brass hit, like you said. Sweat, I can just go take a shower, come out smelling pretty.
Laundry, clean the clothes. You know, it's fine. It's all good. And if you're super smart and you go shooting a lot, you have shooting clothes. They're the clothes that you get sweaty and messy in, because lead actually does get on your clothing when you go shooting. Just thought it. Oh, also pro tip: when you go shooting, lead gets on your hand. You know when they say, "Oh, he had gunshot residue on his hands"? Yeah, that's lead. Don't know if you know that. Do not finish shooting, or actually even while you're shooting or right after you finish shooting, don't rub your eyes. Don't rub your nose. And for God's sake, do not put your hands anywhere near your mouth. Okay?
So another pro tip, wash your hands after shooting and before eating.
Yes. Yes, always. Now, you can have like a water with you or a Gatorade with you. In fact, I highly recommend that, especially if you're shooting outside. I shoot here in the desert, and it's like 115 degrees outside, and you need water. Only touch the cap. Don't touch the mouth. Only the cap. Take a drink. Put the cap back on. If you inadvertently touch it, get a towel, and always have a towel. Like, that was the best advice in Hitchhiker's Guide, was always have a towel, because you never know when you need one. Put a little water in the towel. Wipe that. Dry it. You're good to go then. But lead is lethal. So
many ways.
Yeah, so you don't really want to like inhale. Like, I'm not a big fan of indoor ranges because the lead quotient in there is so much higher than an outdoor range. Outdoor range, the wind blows it away.
Right.
So find an outdoor range and go shooting. I highly recommend that you go shooting, because here's the thing. I find that most people that are anti-gun have never shot one. Now, that's not always the case, but for the most part, people that I've encountered that are like, ooh, guns are bad, they're just good for murder, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, they murder tasty, tasty meat that goes on in my fridge and then in my belly. So yeah, but I'm not murdering people with my weapons. So,
no.
But people like that have never shot a weapon. And I'm telling you, it is the best therapy. Like, seriously, an hour on the range is a year's worth of therapy. It's the cheapest therapy ever. And you're only in competition with yourself. You're not in competition unless you play games. Like, my husband and I like to play games sometimes of like tic-tac-toe. Oh my gosh. Shooting tic-tac-toe is ridiculous. It's so much fun. You have a tic-tac-toe board and you aim for where. So fun. You have to use different ammo, because the holes are different. So you have to know what you're. Anyway,
yeah,
it's fun. And then there's the quarter game where you try to shoot the quarters. Aim small, miss small. It's awesome. It's really good for like zeroing in where it is that you want to aim. And then there's different targets that will tell you what you're doing wrong. If you're shooting and you're pulling, you're slapping the trigger instead of gently pulling it. If your grip is too hard or the support hand isn't doing enough. Sorry, I'm making her laugh. It's awesome.
No, okay. I was going through my Tumblr account, and there's a picture from Top Gear, and there was the competition that the three guys were doing where they had to shoot guns. Now, I am not an expert shooter, but I've been told the trigger needs to go like right where this pad is, right here. That's
right
where you,
here.
not
Yeah.
not the tip, not by the knuckle, right here on the thickness of the pad.
Mm-hmm.
One of the host had the trigger here.
Oh, no, that's so wrong. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself if you do that.
I'm like, oh my goodness, silly Englishman.
They need to institute guns in that country again so that those men can learn how to shoot, not like pansies.
Right. We got 5 minutes left, and I want to bring up something because this whole thing is because the title of this is Censored Lives Matter, and we didn't talk a lot about the different movements going on, but I want to bring up one of the movements, and that's the Black Lives Matter, because I learned today a group has joined Black Lives Matter. Want to guess what group that is?
I already know, so I'll let our audience decide. Okay, time's up.
Yep, time's up. It's CARE.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what CARE is? It's basically Arab Islam's
terrorists. Oh, sorry, got something in my throat there.
No, I know the dust. Oh man.
I live in the desert, man. You never know.
Woo. So the fact that they're now joining forces with this movement tells you something about this movement.
Yeah.
The names that I listed off at the beginning of this episode, I have a real bad feeling the list is going to get longer.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's going to, and I have, it's that like that gut feeling it's going to get worse before it gets better. And as much as I don't want to see it, I have to prepare myself. Because if CARE is now joining with BLM, who already hate the cops and don't really care for the law, and now you got this group who really don't care for America's laws are now joining this group. I see a lot of chaos in the future.
Yeah, here's a fun fact. Las Vegas, where I live, awesome city, by the way. I freaking love my city. It's got its problems, but it's awesome.
There's so many lights.
So
not as much as there was like in the 80s and 90s, but there's still a lot of lights. I miss my neons.
So
I miss my little.
Yeah, the cowboy. Anyway, we have inherited a really interesting problem here in Las Vegas, and that is gangs from California. Now, I don't know if you know anything about the gangs from California, but they are like the MS-13, which basically hate everyone for no reason. We also have the drug cartels here, which, fun fact, our government actually armed the cartels through Fast and Furious. And if you don't know anything about that, look up Mary Chastain at Breitbart and check out her articles on Fast and Furious. Oh, and also
Katie Pavlich.
Yeah, Katie Pavlich, all over it. Go ahead and look up her book. Her book is amazing. What's the title? I forgot the title all of a sudden.
It has to do with Fast. This says Fast and Furious. I was going to look at my bookshelf, and then I remembered I gave it to my dad to read, and he hasn't returned it yet.
Dang it. Anyway,
yeah.
She wrote a very, very, very good book that kind of encompasses exactly what happened. But basically, we armed the cartels. Well, the cartels use the, I think it's the MS-13. I think that's who they are, as a gang here in the United States to help with drug trafficking, which is super awesome. And we have those here in Las Vegas. Now, here's another fun fact. Many of the things that they're finding at the border for crossing over are Islamic artifacts like the Quran and like some money from Middle Eastern countries.
Oh,
those aren't mistakes. So when we say we need to close the border, yeah, let's do that like yesterday. But I digress because we don't have time to go into that. We'll go into that another day. But that's a unique problem here in Las Vegas. So I fully expect more of our metro officers to be gunned down in the streets. I absolutely expect that. I do not want that to happen because I have many, many friends that are metro or married to metro, and no. I don't want that touching us.
No.
We've already gone through it several times. I don't want to go through it again.
So basically, our final thought is say a prayer for the men and women in blue for protection. Learn self-defense. Learn how to use your own gun. And I forgot everything else we just talked about.
Well, take care of the officers. If you see them out and about in public and they're doing something where their attention is focused on something else, watch their six. Like, seriously, they need help just like everybody else. And pretend the officers are your mom.
Ooh, I like that tip.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much it, because now we're out of time.
Yeah, we are. That went fast. I didn't get nearly as drunk as I thought I would.
Yeah, well, the night's still young.
It really is, especially by me. So, woohoo. Party. And I've got a friend coming over. She might already be here. I don't know. I hear my husband too. So, woo. Anyway, all right, people. So if you take issue with whatever we had to say, hit us up on Twitter. I'm at InDepthGirlism.
And I'm at Beautifly Wings or Pope Sparkles on Tumblr. So, until next time.